What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 12 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are almost done with my rental teams for the month. This is the penultimate team, the last one being that Cosmoem that we're kind of saving for a big finale. But this is a Yveldon team. So it is pretty standard. I don't really want to get too much into it. The only things I do want to talk about are the Sirfetch'd as well as the Shenanigans. And so the idea with Sirfetch'd is just, it's a really great support Pokemon, and I really just wanted to use it. It has Helping Hand, Brave Bird, Quick Guard, and Feint, so being able to get rid of Protects, break any sashes, taking advantage of that Scrappy, right, letting you hit Ghost types, which can be really huge, especially against something like a Lunala that has Shadow Shield. You do have Helping Hand for extra damage, and then Quick Guard to stop things like Fake Out. And then the other weird choice is Cinderace. I know that Charizard is a very common Pokemon on these types of comps, but I just thought that Cinderace made a little bit more sense because it does give us more of that physical special split, and I thought having access to those stronger fire type moves was really important, and also it is faster than Charizard, so having that advantage there. So like I said, we're not going to talk too much about the team. It is pretty standard in what it does, but just wanted to show it off. Make sure to check out the paste in the description, and with that, let's just get rocking and rolling and move into the first game. All right, battle number one, and it is a Zacian with Yveltal. It is Zacian Yveltal with Whimsicott, a Landorus, an Amoonguss, and an Incineroar. I really like Cinderace here as well as Groudon. The only issue is going to be that Landorus, right? Landorus obviously having access to that Intimidate. I mean, there's double Intimidate, so that's actually really sort of unfortunate there. I wonder if Sirfetch'd has a place here. What I'm thinking maybe is we could do Sirfetch'd, Yveltal with Groudon, and then Cinderace in the back, with the idea that we can max the Cinderace in the late game. But yeah, I think that the plan is maxing Cinderace in the late game, but trying to put on pressure immediately, using that support from Sirfetch'd to hopefully get some really good damage off early, and also just make sure that we are in a good position. So that's really the plan. Like I said, we do have to worry a little bit about that Landorus, but we have ways to deal with it, as we are going to see the Yveltal and the Whimsicott. So my thought process here is we can go for a Sirfetch'd to break the Focus Sash on the what's it called, on the Whimsicott, to fire off an Oblivion Wing, right, to get rid of it. So I'm just going to go for a quick Feint here, as well as go for the Oblivion Wing, right? That'll get rid of the Whimsicott, hopefully, barring any sort of weird scenarios. Like, it could be very bulky, and then I think that should put us in a pretty good spot, being able to, like I said, break through Protects with that Cinder, or with that the Sirfetch'd is a really big deal, right? It can break through that Sash guaranteed, taking advantage of the fact that Scrappy ignores Ghost types, which is huge. So we get a guarantee, barring in Indeedee, being able to break any sort of Sash, which I think has a lot of merit in the long run. And so hopefully, like I said, if we can get rid of the Whimsicott right off the bat, that should help us out. We are going to see the max coming out from the Yveltal, so there is a chance that they do just go for a max Airstream and knock out my Sirfetch'd right off the bat, which not necessarily the end of the world, right? This is a turn of your max, and we're trading support Pokemon, so I think in that regard, it's fine, right? Like, I get rid of your Whimsicott, you get rid of my Sirfetch'd, and you're down a turn of max. So we are going to see the Feint come out, which is huge, right? Breaking through any sort of Protects, doing a pretty decent amount of damage, not going to lie. I'm actually shocked at how much we're going to see, and maybe with the Koba Berry, we will be able to survive this hit. So that's actually really good too. More importantly, right, you're not getting any sort of boost off with your Yveltal that are relevant. I was hoping that with the with the Koba Berry, we would survive, but unfortunately we do not, which is just one of the ways it goes when you're running no bulk. So I was, yeah, hoping for a little bit more there. Maybe we could have gone with Farfetch'd instead, but we live and we learn. We also see the Life Orb, which is I think a really important reveal, as we will just be able to one-shot their Whimsicott in return, which is, I think, it puts us in a really good position. I think we're fine to bring out Cinderace here. We probably want to switch out from Yveltal into Groudon, just given the fact that there are two Dark Auras right now, and that's really going to hurt if they choose to go for damage. And so I think the correct play is going to be to max the Cinderace, and then switch out into Groudon, just trying to give us the best chance at survivability. Yeah, so I think, like I said, we do just want to go for that big G-Max Fireball here, and then go for a switch out into the Groudon, right? Just trying to get us in a position where we can reduce that Dark Aura damage, which, like I said, is going to be a big deal, and then try and go from there. We will bring out Groudon. I don't think we can survive the double up, unfortunately. Cinderace is just a little bit frail, and this is just a really tricky matchup, in all honesty, which is unfortunate, right? Like, Yveltal does cause this team a little bit of an issue. I guess, like, we do have access to Groudon to kind of have ways to do it. So a little bit suboptimal on my part, but I think, I mean, that's just the way it goes. We will at least get Cinderace nice and big here, as we should probably see. I'm expecting a double up coming out. We're going to see actually the Play Rough into the Groudon slot. So this is really good for us, right? Because one, you're going to proc my Citrus Berry, and two, we should be able to live any sort of hit that the Yveltal is going to fire off, especially because of the fact that there is only one Dark Aura. 25 is more than enough to get rid of the Zacian, which is something that I can live with, right? Yeah, we are going to have that Life Orb continuing to chip away. Fireball going to do a very big chunk of damage. Should be, yeah, more than enough to KO the Zacian. But yeah, it is going to be just a little bit awkward here, as you still have your Yveltal max. I think I need to preserve Groudon. Yeah, I think I need to preserve Groudon. We're going to see the Landorus come out. So I do want to switch out into my... What's it called? I want to switch out into my Yveltal here, just trying to take a hit and not have it take too much damage. And we can go for the Pyro Ball into the Landorus. Like I said, I don't expect to survive here. But if we can get out Yveltal pretty safely, that should put us in a good position, because then we do have access to Foul Play. And double boosted Foul Play should be enough to hopefully get rid of their Landorus. And given the fact that we are seeing the Life Orb, right, we can hopefully hope. I expect them to not have what's it called? Have Foul Play. That's the word. I expect them to not have Foul Play on the Yveltal, which hopefully gives us a chance to KO them with our own thing. We are going to see just the Earthquake come out, so a little bit of an unfortunate end to our large bunny, but now your max is done. And so what I think we can try to do here is hopefully try and get a Foul Play off into this Landorus. If that lets us survive, right, like that's going to put us in just such a good position. We can go for the Rock Tomb onto the Yveltal, just trying to get some damage off. I think it might be worth going for... I wonder if it's worth going for a Protect. But I think, like I said, the Foul Play onto their Landorus should hopefully be enough to get the knockout because of the double Dark type. And then, yeah, Foul Play I think is fine here. Worst case, if they don't get knocked out, we do have Sucker Punch, which can be huge. But a little bit of an interesting turn. I do expect a Rock Slide. We're going to see a Heat Wave actually come out, which was, I mean, it makes sense on a Yveltal. It is unfortunately going to get the burn, which is never fun. As the Rock Slide comes out, if we can survive with the Yveltal, which we definitely can't. Just kidding, we definitely can. This could be really good for us, as Foul Play going to come out doing... That's not a KO, unfortunately. We will get the Rock Tomb damage onto this Yveltal. Going to get the speed drop, not really mattering in the end, given the fact that it is at +3. We do have access, though, to... I think we can go for another Rock Tomb here, and then we can just click the Sucker Punch into the Landorus. We can at least get the knockout there and know that if you're going for, what's it called? Going for a Fire type attack, there is a chance you miss. I mean, a Heat Wave, yeah, you can miss. And also, right, if you go for a Dark Pulse, no, you're just going to double connect the Heat Wave. So, unfortunately, we are going to go down there. But, like I said, if they had missed, we did have a chance to come back, especially with Yveltal. But a little bit of an unfortunate one for sure. I think Yveltal just offering a fair bit of trouble. We could have been a little bit more aggressive than we ended up being. I think, like, a Groudon Cinderace lead would have been totally fine would have given us a lot of options. But it is what it is. That's just kind of the way sometimes we start, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is Calyrex Palkia. It is Liepard, a Calyrex, Palkia, Calyrex, Tapu Fini, Incineroar, and an Amoonguss. So this very much screams to me Liepard Trick Room Shenanigans. What's nice is Feint should stop that. So we definitely want Sirfetch'd here. I think Yveltal is a really good option. Either being able to go for, going for a Snarl if it's a Palkia, as well as a Foul Play if it's a Calyrex. I think that that's huge. We do have Sucker Punch on Cinderace, so I think that that's a solid option too, in the event that they want to, for example, bring, or if we need to have it versus the Calyrex. And then I'm going to bring Groudon in the back. Having access to, I think that Sun versus Palkia could be really huge. Also, the Protect trying to help stall out some Trick Room turns. Worst case, we do have a lot of natural bulk, so we can try and max versus a Calyrex. So hopefully that Quick Guard can help us out. I mean, not Quick Guard, Feint. So that hopefully should let us break through some stuff. As yeah, we are going to see the Palkia with the Liepard. So this very much suggests to me that you are going to go for a max guard and go for the Trick Room, but having Feint means that you're just gonna do that. And so what's also nice here is if you Feint into my Yveltal, we have, because we're a Dark type, it won't work. So I just want to go for a quick Feint onto the Liepard, as well as go for, yeah, and go for a Snarl. This way we can just kind of guarantee that we're in a good position, right? We could just go for a Sucker Punch too. Sucker Punch isn't the end of the world. Unfortunately, we are Brave Bird and not close combat on Sirfetch'd. That really would have sort of helped us, but I think that this is a fine position, right? We are going for the Snarl if we need to, and that can put our opponent in a slight disadvantage, right? You are committing your max to a Palkia. Palkia obviously not going to like having its special attack dropped, and obviously this team is very dependent on Trick Room, and not letting that get set up is huge. So we should see, I'm guessing, a Max Guard. We're going to see no Max Guard, actually, so probably, I don't really know. We're going to see the Fake Tears. It is going to go into the Yveltal, which is great, like, I don't care. Let us fire off a big Snarl onto you just to get that special attack drop too, and making it, yeah, so I guess my opponent didn't know that it doesn't work on Dark types. We're going to see the Geyser come out into the Yveltal. The Yveltal, as a result of that drop, is going to be able to take that fairly well. The issue is I don't think we can take another one, and I can't really afford to switch into Groudon in either of these slots. I mean, I could. I want to just keep going for a Feint because I can't really afford to let you set up. I think it's fine, in all honesty, to sacrifice the Yveltal here because of the fact that we can get a free switch in into our Groudon, and I think Groudon should be in a really good position from there, as we will be able just to keep firing the Feints to prevent any sort of issues. We are going to see the Fake Tears once again. I don't know if they're calling a switch or what, but overall, this is a really good option for us. We should be able to, with one more Feint, get through this Liepard, which is huge to prevent any sort of Trick Room. We will see the Geyser come out, so probably the end of our little bird friend. Actually, no. So that's huge, right? Like, these are 2 turns of your max. I'm going to go for a Feint once again, and then I'm just going to fire off an Oblivion Wing onto the... I'm going to fire an Oblivion Wing off onto the Palkia, just trying to get a little bit of HP back, right? You already are at -2. We saw how little you're doing, so getting that extra damage is huge. And then I think, like I said, Sirfetch'd, being able to break through and just not letting my opponent set up Trick Room is going to be the huge thing. So yeah, we are going to be able to connect with the Feint, which is awesome. It looks like they probably went for the last-ditch effort of attempting to set up a Trick Room, but we're not going to let that happen. And now we're in a position, right, where if you want to bring out Calyrex, we can go for a Helping Hand Max Darkness, which should be more than enough to get the knockout. And that should be great for us. Is yeah, Calyrex going to come out here. This is, though, a little bit tricky, just given the fact that they do have 2 Trick Room setters, right? Like, it is very possible that you just go for a Protect as well as a... oh, wait. I don't care about Protect. I'm going to feint into the Calyrex, and then it's 95. I'm going to say Foul Play is enough. We do have access to, what's it called? We do have access to Cinderace with Sucker Punch in the back, and so I'm not super worried about Palkia, especially because it is at -2. So we can basically pin the Calyrex and max the Groudon to go for big Quakes. And I think that that's fine, right? So Feint coming in huge here, being able to stop that Calyrex, potentially going for a max here, not giving anyone access to Protect is a really big deal. And yeah, my opponent is going to recognize the position they're in and choose to cancel. So overall, a really quick second game, but I think we really could not have got there without Sirfetch'd being able to just put on so much pressure. And let's just quickly take a look here. It is going to be that Liepard. Yeah, we are going to see the copycat, so pretty standard set. Once again, yeah, the standard Palkia here. Calyrex, everything very standard here. Yeah, you do have that option of Trick Room and Protect, but we're not going to let you get that off. Feeny, once again, very standard here. I do like the Muddy Water. I think that that's cool. Incin, I normally like fast Incin on Trick Room teams, but you have Liepard. And then finally the Amoonguss. So overall, just a solid second battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and it is Zacian and Calyrex. It is Zacian and Calyrex, Regieleki, Incineroar, Gastrodon, and Indeedee. So this is a little bit tricky here. Like normally, my thought process would just be Groudon with Sirfetch'd, but because they have that Indeedee, it's a little bit tricky. I think Groudon with I could actually. I don't hate Groudon Venusaur. I like it a lot, actually. I think Yveltal is really good here. And you know what? We're playing for Sirfetch'd, so we're going to use Sirfetch'd. And I think that's just kind of the way it goes. But yeah, we can play around with it. And then yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think this should put us in like the best position overall. Like Venusaur, right? Venusaur just has a very good matchup into this team, especially with Groudon being able to fire off some big Precipice Blades. I think that should be fine overall. And I think, yeah, hopefully we can utilize our Sirfetch'd in this match. But yeah, let's see. This is funny. Yeah, I'm a little bit distracted here, but let's kind of see how this plays out. We are going to see as a lead Indeedee Calyrex. This is actually not what I wanted to see. But we do. Okay, so we do have access. We do have access to Snarl, which is a big one. So I'm tempted, in all honesty, to go for the... I mean, I could just go for the... Yeah, I think there's no reason for me to take unnecessary damage on my Groudon. So I'm going to switch out into the Yveltal, go for the Snarl. Switch out into the Yveltal. Because we do have Snarl, right? We do have Snarl. So I'm going to make this switch here. I'm going to Vine Lash. I'm going to click into the Calyrex, right? We very well could see an issue of them just going for a double up into the Venusaur with Expanding Force. Like, we could see double Expanding Force. I think if that's the case, that's not necessarily the end of the world, right? Like, yes, we will lose our Pokemon, but so what? We are going to see a switch here, though, into the Incineroar. So Incineroar, not ideal, but more importantly, right, we are switching out our Groudon. So the Groudon won't be intimidated, and we do get out Yveltal here, and I think Yveltal able to actually probably do some work too. But we will most likely have to take some big damage onto this Venusaur, right? We should be taking a combination of an Expanding Force as well as a Flare Blitz, so potentially losing our max really early here, which is not ever what you want to see. But, right, if we can get the Vines off, we probably know my opponent has both Restricteds in the back, so we can sort of try and play around that. Yeah, so we are going to see no redirection, which is unfortunate. Ensign going to take actually a decent chunk, especially when you remember the fact that you're also going to have to take the residual, as we are going to see a reflect. So really not what I expected to see here. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. I think what I want to do actually is try and just finish off this Incineroar. Right, so I think the fine play here is to go for an O-Wing. Go for another Vine Lash too, right? I think that should be enough. We could see more redirection from this Indeedee, right? As we're going to see Max. Okay. I want to hope that is Indeedee, but I know it's going to be the Incineroar. So, yeah, we're going to see the Max Incineroar. I think that's a fine play from them. We do still have good, like, we do have recovery, right, with our stuff. We are also putting it pretty low, right? The combination of just everything coming out, especially if they go for a flare into the Venusaur. That's fine, right? We also do get a free switch into the Groudon, which has access to Precipice Blades. We are going to see a Citrus Berry proc, so that's a little bit unfortunate, right? Recovering off some of the damage we just dealt. But the O-Wing, going to put it pretty low, actually. The crit is explaining that. So a non-trivial amount of damage as the flare coming out into the Venusaur. So taking advantage of our Sash, really putting in work here, right? Making it so you don't get anything off. We should I actually probably want to try and get rid of this Indeedee this turn. Just because I think it's a little bit more of an issue than an Incineroar, especially if we have Oblivion Wing, right? We can really mitigate all of that damage. So I'm just going to go for a huge hit onto this Indeedee, just trying to finish it off to stop any sort of additional shenanigans, right? Venusaur also in a really good spot here, right? Like, do you want to waste a second turn of Max targeting it down? You kind of have to, right? Because of the fact that we do have access to Sleep Powder, which can really put a big tamper on your plans. So we also know that the Incineroar is not safety goggles. So the question now is, are you going to let my Yveltal just continue to do work? Or are you going to waste the second turn of Max, which we are going to see the second turn of Max being used for a guard, which is great, right? Because we did target down this Indeedee. So you're trying to probably, I'm guessing, go for an Expanding Force onto my Venusaur to get rid of it that way, which I think is a good out, as you instead opt for the Light Screen. So dual screens, helping hand, maybe no follow me, but I do unfortunately am in this really bad position where our most of our Vine Lash turns are really going to be used just on these two support Pokemon, where I mean I would much rather prefer it obviously to be other places, but let's see here. There is 2 turns of that left. I do want to go for an Oblivion Wing onto this Incin, and then just go for a Weather Ball onto the Indeedee. I do want to just try and get rid of it that way and make it so if we can force the end game of 2v1, right, we can use all of our tools, right? We can Sleep Powder into the Zacian, as well as go for a Sucker Punch onto the Calyrex, just really not giving it anything, as we are going to see the Incin actually retreat. So if this is Calyrex, that's awesome, right? We get to break the Sash right off the bat, or if it's Zacian, we do get a little bit of chip into it. It is going to be the Zacian, so you know, I much rather would have had the Weather Ball go into that slot, as we are going to finally see the Follow Me come out from this Indeedee. So this is a little bit of a tricky spot, right? Like now, what you probably are trying to stall out the Sun. But if we have a turn of Vine Lash left, that's really good, right? Because we do get some chip onto this, what's it called? Onto this Zacian, which we love to see. Yeah, we do get the Vine Lash, which is awesome, right? Like that is a non-negligible chunk, especially given the fact that we do still have Groudon in the back. I do probably want to preserve Venusaur, so I think it's fine to switch into Sirfetch'd, and then actually there's still is Psychic Terrain. There still is the Psychic Terrain, and the Sun is still up, so I think it's fine to go for an Oblivion Wing here, as well as go for a Sleep Powder onto the Zacian, just trying to put it to sleep and help us out. We are going to see the Fake Out come. Luckily, there is that terrain. We are unfortunately going to miss the Sleep Powder, which is a huge deal, as that lets the Zacian get the knockout. We're also going to have the sun go away, which, you know, is never fun. Your reflect is going to wear off, so that's actually really beneficial for us. But now what we can do is we can bring out Groudon, and now we can go for the Weather Ball as well as the Precipice Blades, which as long as we hit right, that should be more than enough to pick up some knockouts, right? Doing big damage into the Zacian. We do obviously have to worry a little bit about accuracy, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think Precipice Blades here as well as a Weather Ball into the Zacian. We could go for a Helping Hand, but I think that this is also kind of fine. We do have to still worry about the Calyrex in the back, but we do have access to Sirfetch'd, which can break through the Protect, which is something that definitely is worth considering, as we are going to see the Instant switch out into the Calyrex. Yeah, into the Calyrex, which is great for us, right? We could see a potential Protect from the Zacian, which would be a little bit unfortunate, but we can get good damage off. Yeah, we are going to see the Protect. But we should still do a really big chunk with this Precipice Blades, as long as we hit. That is always the risk that comes with these things. Luckily, we do connect. Hopefully, this does over half. As yeah, we are going to do over half. So I think it's fine to go for a Precipice Blades here. I want to go for the Weather Ball into the Zacian. This is a little bit awkward. I don't think Groudon can take the double up, but we're going to still try. We could see a switch out right into the Incineroar. I think you can't afford to do that. Perfect. The Weather Ball going to come out here, hoping for a big chunk to the Zacian. Survey says that is not nearly enough. The Astral Barrage, yeah, it is going to be a double target. And so the question is, how low do you put us? If you put us in range of our Citrus Berry, we should... That's going to be close. That's going to actually be very close on if we can survive or not. But if we can, I think we should have this game locked up. I mean, it is going to come down to Precipice Blades connecting, but I think we should be able to survive this Blade, depending on the investment. We unfortunately don't. So that is really unfortunate there. We could have protected... No. Yeah, so that... Yeah, unfortunately, the Zacian doing just a little bit too much to us. And yeah, given the fact that you have access to everything, yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to take this one home. That just kind of is the way it goes with this team sometimes. Like I said, I thought we were going to survive that Precipice or that Behemoth Blade. I'm guessing it was really close. We just, yeah, if we had procced the Citrus Berry, I think we would have been fine. But not getting that was huge. We could have gone for, we probably could have gone for a Sleep Powder. I think that was fine. I could run the Calc on the Zacian, but, oh yeah, it's max and max, yeah. So we should have gone for the Sleep Powder on the Calyrex. You live and you learn. That's just the way it is. We will be playing some more with this team, so look out for that. But yeah, with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.